as we keep going. You'll notice that when you join the call, you're muted. That's just because there's a lot of people on the call and we don't want to have any noises distracting us in the background. But if at any point you have a question, feel free to drop that in the chat. And then at the end, hopefully we'll have some time for Q&A. So at that point, you can also drop any questions in the chat or unmute yourself. These are very collaborative calls, and the aim is just for you to get some support when it comes to parenting with a Montessori lens. All right, this will be recorded. We will be sharing the recording with Ashley, our speaker for tonight, and with the schools that are participating. And if you need a copy, you can either reach out to your school or you can reach out to myself. I'll share my email at the end of this call in the chat. So I'll be posting that tomorrow. All right. Today, we're going to be talking about parenting with purpose and integrating Montessori into your family's routine. We're very excited to have Ashley joining us from Australia. So it's morning for her, but it's evening for most of the people joining this call. I'll go ahead and hand it over to Ashley so she can talk a little bit more about herself and present her topic. All right, Ashley.
Wonderful. Thank you, Camilla. And thank you to Montessori Thrive for having me as a guest speaker today. I am passionate about empowering families to incorporate Montessori principles into their daily lives. And I do understand that embracing Montessori can feel a little overwhelming as well, especially for those new to this approach. So today I really want to focus on practical, actionable tips to help you get started. And today we'll explore tangible ways to bring Montessori into your home and your parenting style and making it accessible and achievable for your family. So as Camilla said, if you have any questions, you're most welcome to place them in the chat box or ask questions. It's a safe place. We're here to make you feel supported and for you to learn. We will have time at the end as well for some questions. My name is Ashley Obst, and I'm the owner and director at Joy for Montessori in Melbourne, Australia. It is 11 o'clock here today. So I'm a certified Montessori educator and consultant and a certified parenting coach through Circle of Security. I am a wife and a mother of 3 children and 2 stepchildren. And I'm really passionate about helping families, particularly in the first plane of development, so from 0 to 6 years of age. And we know that this is the most critical time for development. So the brain develops, by the time your child is 3 years of age, it's developed at 80%. And then by the time they're age 6, the brain's developed at 90%. So it is a really critical time for growth and development, but also for us parents as well. So having those tools in your parenting toolbox is very important. So we'll talk today about all those practical tips that you can have. So just a bit about agenda of what we'll be going through today. A brief understanding of what is Montessori, Montessori in everyday parenting, how to encourage independence and fostering that self-directed learning, how to foster curiosity at home, the power of communication and that positive communication, using descriptive praise, active listening and empathy. And then we're going to talk about the prepared environment, so your home environment, and embracing mistakes. And then we'll have some time for some questions. So Montessori is an educational approach developed by Italian physician and educator Maria Montessori. So it is a method of education. And the Montessori approach to education really focuses on a lifelong passion for learning in children. So we want them to have that joy of learning. And we are also looking at the child's whole development. So not just as child, but up until adulthood as well. So really nurturing children's unique developmental paths. And we know that all children are unique. They learn at their own pace, and respecting their interests and natural growth. So by embracing this natural journey, children really blossom into confident, responsible individuals, and they're taking ownership of their growth and their learning. And also we're showing the children that we trust their own capabilities too, so they should trust their own capabilities. It's really looking at the child's whole development. So we're looking at cognitive, social, emotional, and the physical aspect of your child. So by applying these principles in your parenting style, it really offers a holistic approach to raising children. So parents can really create a nurturing environment that encourages curiosity, problem solving, and social emotional growth. So this approach really promotes positive relationships, and in your family, it reduces stress. So those power struggles that that we have with our children, and really empowers parents to trust their children's abilities, their capabilities, because they're so capable if we allow them the opportunities to learn and to grow. So by integrating Montessori methods into daily life, parents can really support their child's unique developmental path, fostering a strong foundation for that success and happiness. So we really are looking at the long term and not the short term of parenting. So what do you want your child to be as an adult? What do you want for them? It is easy, the short-term parenting, because you have those quick fixes, but it is really about the long term that we're looking at. So let's jump in to have a look at just simple ways to apply Montessori principles in your daily life. So the first principle that we're going to be looking at is encouraging independence. So how do we do that at home? So providing opportunities for self-care. So dressing, feeding, grooming. Some examples for dressing is, allowing them to have the opportunity when they put their a coat on or a jacket, allowing them to zip to hold it and zip it up themselves if they're capable of doing it, assisting them, guiding them to pull up their pads. With feeding, I know a lot of the time it's a lot easier for us parents to feed our children ourselves. It's more time effective, I guess, but we're also robbing them the opportunity of gaining those skills, that hand-eye coordination to scoop and to feed themselves. I know a lot of parents don't like mess, so it's something that we have to work on as parents to embrace the mess, because that's how children are going to be learning too, which follows on from the grooming. So if you see your child, they have food on their face, for example, a lot of the time we just go in and wipe their face ourselves. So one principle of Montessori is respect for the child. We can say to our child, "Oh, I see you've got some food on your face," and then you can offer them a wet cloth and a mirror, and they can practice wiping their own face. So it's allowing those opportunities in self-care that they're getting those skills. Another way to encourage independence is offering choices within reason. So I think a lot of the time when families learn about Montessori, there's that myth of we're letting our children do everything. They've got so many options. For Montessori, we want to make sure they have boundaries so they're not overwhelmed. So a tip that you can do is just provide them with two options. So in the morning you can say, would you like to wear your green jacket today or your blue jacket today? So those two options. Another example can be breakfast time. So in the morning, you can say to your child, would you like to have toast or would you like to have cereal today? That simple question and that allowing your child to have that choice really encourages their independence. And then you can also think of later on when they're going to primary school that they're making those choices for themselves and that lifelong learning. Then we can model independence. So modeling, I'm going to brush my hair today, and offering them a small hairbrush where they can also brush their hair at the same time, and allowing for mistakes. So that's really important for their learning as well. Now, a practical example to encourage independence at home is in the kitchen time. I know mealtime, particularly at dinner time, it can be quite stressful. And that's when your child really wants your attention as well. So making them that active participant and, you know, gaining those new skills will really help during those difficult times of the day. So an example could be you can place a stool or a learning tower in the kitchen to enable your child to access utensils and really participate in meal prep. So if they are a little bit younger, you can have them, you know, wash the vegetables, have your learning tower at the sink, and they can participate washing the vegetables while you're chopping. Now, we know at this age, 0 to 6, they're absorbing everything. So they're also watching you with those practical life skills too. Another practical tip can be, you know, placing snacks or water station down low so your child has access to. I know, you know, multiple times during the day, your child might come up to you and say, oh, can I please have some water, or can I please have some snacks? So having this available and accessible to your child encourages them to independently have those self-care skills. So just those small changes can make such a big difference in encouraging independence. And I really love, this is an old Instagram post by Nicole at the Kavanagh Report, but it really demonstrates that children are so capable, and if they can't access something, they will definitely find a way. So it really shows the importance of encouraging and preparing your home for independence, because we know that this is quite safe, but the child wants to go to the snack area and has found a stool and has climbed up onto the bench. So if there was an area where the child was successfully able to get their snacks, they would. So children are very, very resourceful. All right, so the next Montessori principle that we're going to be looking at is fostering curiosity. So practical tips at home, asking open-ended questions to really spark that exploration. You can ask questions such as, you know, how does this make you feel? Or, you know, what do you think will happen? Can you find another way? You know, when your child is drawing something, a lot of the time we'll say, oh, that's a beautiful picture. You know, there's a cloud. We're labeling what the child has created, but to them, it might be completely something different. So asking those questions, you can say, I love your painting. What inspired your creation? For an older child or for a younger child, you can say, tell me more about your drawing. So allowing them to have that curiosity. Modeling curiosity yourself. So children love to ask questions, and if you don't know the answer, that's okay. You can say, I don't actually know the answer. Let's go to the library and explore. So this is something that then extends their learning and curiosity as well. If they've never been to the library, how do you research things? Vocabulary comes in place, new environments. So it's really important to say, no, I don't know. Let's do it together. Create a sense of wonder and awe through storytelling and discussion. Children love to hear stories and experiences about their parents. So being able to share your experiences that link into their world is really important too. So some tangible examples that you can do to foster curiosity. Nature walks, go and explore the outdoors, take a bucket or a basket with you, collect leaves, collect rocks. If you can't go outside and something for the home, something practical for the home, you can engage in practical life skills. So measuring, mixing, learning about different ingredients, different smells. So that can really foster curiosity in the home. Okay. Using positive language. So in Montessori education, positive language really plays a vital role in fostering self-confidence, independence, and resilience in children. So by using descriptive, observational, and encouraging phrases, educators and parents, we can really create a supportive environment. So instead of using criticism or praise, Montessori encourages phrases like, I see you're trying so hard, you've got great concentration. This approach really focuses on the progress, the effort, the process over the outcome. So helping children really develop a positive self-image and a love of learning. And by modeling mindful language, adults can really empower children to take ownership of their learning. They can build self-awareness and really cultivate that emotional intelligence. So I will offer you some practical sayings that you can use on a daily basis. You might, I'm happy to have access to these slides so that you can print out these sayings. You can place it on your fridge just as a reminder, because it does take some time to rewire how we communicate with our children and what to say to our children. And this is really important to remember, that our voice really becomes our child's inner voice. So what we're saying to them becomes their inner voice. And we really want to help our children to grow into respectful adults. And we also want our children to know that they should be respected themselves too. So here are some examples of respectful phrases that you can say to your children on a daily basis. One is, you did it. Instead of saying, good boy, good girl, really focusing on the internal motivation of your child and not the external validation. And you also might hear, if you've got young children or even primary school age children, they'll be so excited that they've completed a task, and they will actually say, I did it. And they're just so happy. And then you can reply back saying, you did it, instead of doing that good boy, good girl. It's giving them context as well as to what have they done. Another example, again, can you tell me more about your drawing, instead of assuming what they've created? What do you think you should do next? So again, children really need to gain their own experience and develop their own intelligence, gain their own skills in problem solving and conflict resolution. A lot of the time, as parents, we take over tasks when they become challenging for our children. So just giving them that question of, if they're doing a puzzle, for example, and they're finding it very challenging, instead of taking over and placing the puzzle piece into the puzzle, you can say, what do you think we should do next? Maybe we can turn it around. So just giving those prompting questions. I love you always. So again, embracing those mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm always going to love you. It's a really important one to say every day. You should be so proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. I saw you working hard. Thank you, that's so helpful. I trust you. You can do it. Listen to your body. So if your child is toileting, you can use that as a gentle reminder to say, oh, listen to your body. Do you need to go to the toilet? When your child, they don't want food anymore, instead of saying, oh no, have 3 more bites, you can say to them respectfully, okay, listen to your body. If you're hungry, then you can have some more food. When they are in risky play as well, a lot of the time we're saying, oh, careful, don't do that. We can say to them, okay, listen to your body. What's your next move? Next one, can you help me? So getting your child to help you at home helps them feel valued. They feel part of the family. And they also realize that you believe in them and that they're capable too. So building that self-confidence up. We sit down on chairs. So, a lot of the time we tell our children, oh, no, don't do that. We want to tell our children what to do instead of not what to do. And so instead of saying, that's naughty, get down, we can say, oh, we sit down on chairs, or our feet stay on the ground. I'm sorry, can we start again? So I'm sorry I yelled at you. I know that made you feel bad. I was feeling angry and I yelled. Next time I'll try to take a deep breath instead of yelling at you. I'm sorry, can we start again? It's a really important thing when it comes to positive communication that we do say sorry to our children, and that we do communicate that I shouldn't have yelled, or I should have done this. So that's a really important communication skill to have. You fell down. That would have hurt. A lot of the time we want to make sure that our children are feeling okay. So we brush it off saying, oh, no, you'll be okay. Get up. So trying to build that resilience in them, but we're not actually empathizing with them, because if they do fall down on the concrete, that would have hurt. So just communicating with them, saying that would have hurt. This goes back to the grooming. So I see your nose is running. Would you like a tissue? Instead of wiping their nose without asking. And let's work together. So when your child is getting frustrated, that's when you can say, let's work together. What can we do next? How can, solving the problem together, so they feel that you're guiding them. So that's some good tips on how to use positive communication in your daily interactions with your child. Let's talk about the prepared environment next. So this is really important to create that independence. So having designated spaces for specific independence. So for example, your home entrance, you could have your basket ready for your child when they leave the home or enter the home. They can place their shoes there. Highly recommend using Velcro shoes for younger children too, so that they have success, or they're able to be part of the process. In the kitchen, making sure that you have low access for a low drawer where they have a placemat, their cutlery, their plates, a glass of water. Having that preparation really helps. Their wardrobes, having a low shelf where you have just a selected amount of clothes, and then you can hang everything else up, but allowing your child to have access. So, in the morning, oh, we need our socks before we go. Can you go and get your socks? So allowing them that independence and having access to go and get the socks themselves. In the bathroom, having a low drawer again with their toothbrush, a hairbrush, so that they're part of the routine. And then a snack and art table. So at home, you can have a snack table, and then during the day, that's where they eat their snacks. But if you like to have dinner as a family, then if they're in a high chair, making sure that the high chair doesn't have a tray, and it can actually be pushed into the table so that your child feels like they're participating, and they're just like everyone else in the family. They don't have that barrier. Organizing materials and tools for accessibility. We've talked about that. Ensure safety and supervision. So in Montessori, we don't just allow a child to start cutting a banana with a knife. We go from simple to more complex. So guiding the child first, maybe at home you can allow your child to start peeling a banana first. And then you go on to the next step where you can use like a blade, a chopper that doesn't have a blade on it, so it's quite blunt, that they're going to then learn how to chop. Then you can go to a knife, like a bread knife, and then increase the tools based on their skills, and obviously providing supervision. So guiding them, but not stepping in and taking over again. And rotating materials to maintain interest and engagement. So here are some 5 steps, some practical steps that you can do at home to set up your home. So child-sized furniture, and having your child feet on the ground when they're eating, when they're sitting down, that's really important. Less is more. So we know if there's so much stimulation, then that can obviously affect their behavior at home as well. So less is more. Take away the clutter and the toys, and only put a few activities out, and observe your child. So if your child isn't using those materials, then it shows that they're not interested. It's either too challenging or too simple. You can take it away and then rotate and bring it out at a later time. So how can you set up your home for your child to be more independent? You can use small trays, baskets, things at their height, and making sure, yes, everything is the child's size is really helpful. Look at the room through their eyes. So sitting down on the ground just to observe the room and see what works and what doesn't work at their height. And store and rotate. So going back to less is more, and observing your child and seeing what works and what doesn't work for your child. What are their interests? Okay. Next one that we're going to be focusing on is embracing mistakes as learning opportunities. So in a Montessori environment, mistakes are really embraced as valuable learning opportunities rather than focusing on that error or failure. And children are really encouraged to explore, experiment, and to discover. So when mistakes do happen, they are viewed as natural stepping stones for growth. So allowing children to develop that resilience, that critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. So by reframing mistakes as learning opportunities, children really cultivate that growth mindset. And then this helps children feel empowered to take risks, to ask questions and to really explore without that fear or failure or wanting to be perfect at everything, that perfectionism. So an example to embrace mistakes as learning opportunities is, at home, if your child is painting and they spill paint, you can say, okay, accidents happen. Let's clean up together and try again. Or if your child is pouring milk into their cereal and it spills, that's okay. Looks like there's some milk on the table. Let's get some paper towel and we'll clean it up. Just really embracing those mistakes and making it quite factual that that's okay. What do we do next is really important. And then we've got just some additional tips as well. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by having to make all these changes to your home, to your parenting. Just start off small and consistent as well. So this week you might say to yourself, encouraging independence. This week I'm going to focus on allowing my child to have 2 options of choosing their clothing. So I'm going to focus on this today. Then the following week, it could be more about the communication that you have with your child. How am I going to reword this? Instead of saying no, maybe I can say, oh, yes, we can do this, but we have to do this first. So having a look at the words that you're using with your children. The following week, it could be setting your boundaries. So this week I'm going to focus on letting my child sit down at the snack table, but if they are leaving the table, I can say to them, oh, it looks like you're done. I'm going to put your food away. So just those small changes that you can incorporate into your daily lives and start off small and be consistent. Observe and listen to your child's needs as well. Be patient and flexible. It's definitely something that us parents need to build on ourselves, being patient. It's a skill to have. And we've got great Montessori community. There's so many Montessori resources that you can go and have a look and educate yourself and have those parenting tools. And most of all is just to be kind to yourself and to give yourself grace as well, because parenting is such a big job and it can be overwhelming with all the information that's out there. And just take it day by day as well. Start small and be consistent. But they're the practical tips that you can use in your home. And if there's any questions, please let me know.
At this point, you can unmute yourself to ask a question, or you can drop it in the chat and we'll make sure to read it.
Hi there.
Hi, Courtney.
Unmute. I was multitasking a little bit. I was making a lunch at the same time. But so I have a question. I have 2 questions. One is around Catherine's a pretty easy kid, luckily for now. And everything is pretty much clicked with all of the kind of stuff that we've tried to implement at home with the Montessori. It's going great. There's 2 sticking points. One is toothbrushing. I think it's getting a little bit better, but I'm wondering, I mean, we have to brush her teeth.
Yes.
So I try to be very gentle. She hasn't really latched onto the whole self-care section in her room. She'll check out the mirror and stuff. Every now and then she'll brush her hair. So we just kind of come back to it every week and see if she's going to be into it. So we've been brushing her teeth. I usually just stand her up on the counter with me, so she's at eye level and we can do it together and she can see me. I've tried singing songs. I've tried everything. And then I ask, can I help you? And I get a big fat no. And then, she wails when I try to brush her teeth. What's the best way to handle that?
The best approach. I think you're doing an amazing job that you're allowing her to have access and trying and using that gentle approach with her. How old is Catherine? Sorry?
She's 19 months.
19 months. Yes. So she's at that age where they want to do everything themselves as well. So encouraging her to have the opportunity to brush her teeth. And then you can say to her, you can have your turn, but mum's just going to help you because we really need to look after our teeth. And you can brush your teeth together at the same time too. But just allowing her to say, you can have a turn and then mum's going to help you because we still need to have that teeth care as well and keep it consistent. So keep it in your routine where this is the routine and it's just part of in the morning and at night time.
Okay, so just kind of stick with it.
Yeah, stick with it. She's 19 months, she's exploring, and you providing her the opportunities of having the mirror, having the toothbrush, doing it herself. It does take time. It does take time. And I know you want to ensure that her teeth are clean. But just giving her that ownership of doing it herself and then giving her the boundary too, saying, you're going to brush your teeth, you have a turn, and then mum's going to help you. And
Okay.
obviously, if she runs off, I mean, you're not going to force her to be brushing her teeth, but just keep that consistent. And yeah, you're doing well.
Okay, great. Well, the other thing
Having
that I've tried now, because now she's starting to she wants to do I mean, she
Yes.
really wants to do everything herself, like, which
Yes.
is amazing. But I actually just got another toothbrush for her too, because she like clenches, the death grip. And
Yes.
I don't want to pry it out of her hand. So I just got another toothbrush. So I let her, you know what I mean? She can hang on to
Yeah,
it while I take
that's
my
right.
turn.
So when you're brushing your teeth, is she with you as well? Like, are you
Yeah,
doing
we
it
do
at
it
the
together when
same time?
it's toothbrushing time.
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, just keep at it. Just be consistent. Have it part of your routine, and she will get there.
Okay, and just stay gentle and
That's
and if she
right.
runs away, then we try again tomorrow.
Try again tomorrow. That's right.
Okay, sounds good. The other thing is it's about food and she was always really easy eater, like surprisingly, but she's getting to the age where, she's got a will and she's she's starting to, I don't know, get pickier, I guess, with food. And so, I mean, I never if she's done, if she says all done, she hands me her plate, no problem. Um, but I do feel like when they start to get picky with food and I mean, I know that the rule is no rewards. We don't do that. She doesn't get dessert every night or anything like fruit or anything sweet after. We don't really do that anyways. But,
Yes.
but she is starting to get to a place where I know she's hungry, but she wants us to keep giving her things until she gets something she likes. And I
Yeah,
don't want to give in to that, so I don't, but I also have to feed my 19-month-year-old.
of course, of course.
And she's not logical enough to explain, well, if you don't eat your vegetables, then like that's all you're getting tonight. She's 19 months old, you
Yeah,
know?
so at that age, they really are exploring the texture and they do become quite particular in what they want to be eating. And it can be quite stressful because you do want your child you want to ensure that they are eating. But please know that a lot of the time we try to feed them so that they're not hungry. They do listen to their body. So if she is hungry, having that there available for her, saying, "Oh, I can see you are hungry. Would you like some more?" So put it away and then come back to it.
Okay.
Is something that you can do. Obviously, where you don't want to be force feeding, children can listen to their bodies, and yeah, just saying, oh, we're going to have this, and then we can have this after.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
reassurance. I mean, it's kind of what I've been doing is, and don't
Yeah.
expect that it's going to be elegant. That's what I've
No,
learned. It's not
that's
as
right.
elegant as it reads in the parenting book.
No, that's
It's
right.
like
So
messy and most nights it doesn't work and that's okay.
yeah, that's right. And that's why you have to just give yourself some grace too, and some
It's
patience that we
wiping
need
spaghetti
as
sauce out of
parents.
your eyeball.
Tammy, I have a private message here. If it's possible to re-show the slides of examples of what we could say, to our children as parents, I guess those terms.
Yes, of course. I can do that. So again, that inner voice, our voice becomes the child's inner voice. So you did it. I'm very happy to share this slide as well so that you can print out let's see, can you tell me more about your drawing? What do you think you should do next? I love you always. You should be so proud of yourself. I'm proud of you. So instead of saying that, good job, you can say, I'm so proud. You should be so proud of yourself. I saw you working hard. Thank you. That's so helpful. I trust you. You can do it. Listen to your body. So again, with the toileting as a gentle reminder, a lot of the time when it comes to toileting, we tend to, put a timer on and say, oh, we've got to go to the toilet now. But allowing your child to listen to their body is really important to say to them, oh, listen to your body. It's a gentle reminder for them to go to the toilet. Again, when it comes to the food, that question about the food as well, listen to your body. Your child will eat enough until they're full. And if they are hungry, they will eat their food. And then listen to your body when it comes to risky play. So, climbing, instead of saying, oh, don't do that, you might fall. Just listen to your body. What are you going to do next? Where can you put your foot? Where can you put your hand? Another one is, can you help me? So getting your child to help you at home. We sit down on chairs. So instead of saying, no, don't climb on the chair or don't climb on the sofa, we sit down on the couch. We sit down on chairs. We keep our feet on the ground. Again, apologizing. We spoke about saying, I'm sorry. Can we start again? You fell down. That would have hurt. Acknowledging your child and empathizing with them. The self-care of, I see your nose is running. Would you like a tissue instead of just going in and wiping their nose? And the last one was, let's work together. So when your child is getting frustrated, just know it's by saying that they know that you're there for them to support them through that frustration, through that challenge, and that you're not going to take over.
Great. We have a question here in the chat. Hello, what is the ideal age for transitioning a baby to a Montessori floor bed without railing? So I guess this is about the prepared environment a little bit.
Yes. So I guess it really is the personal preference of you as a parent and what you're comfortable in doing. There's no set age going having a floor bed without the railings. I know a lot of families, they tend to they have the floor bed, and then they can put, I'm not sure what you would call it in the States, but it's like a pool noodle, just certain things to I guess help you as a parent feel comfortable with your child being in a floor bed. You can put a pool noodle on your floor bed mattress, and then that also helps your child not roll out. Making sure that they've got some padding as well, so that, because we know that children do move a lot in their sleep, so making sure you've got that safe area for them. There's no real ideal age for transitioning a baby to a Montessori floor bed without railings. It's really a personal preference as a parent.
Any other questions? I shared my email there if you want to reach out to me for the recordings, and I'll ask Ashley for a copy of the slides.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Mariana. I'm glad you found them helpful. And it is a wonderful reminder just having them on your fridge or somewhere where you can see them, that's visible as a little reminder every day.
All right. If no one else has any more questions, oh, we're getting some thank yous here.
Thank you.
Refrigerator cheat sheets, absolutely. And also just, I think, motivational quotes a little bit.
Right. Just,
Uh,
that daily practice of rewiring what you're going to, to say.
all right, next week we are going to be talking a little bit about, challenging behaviors, how to tackle that. So we look forward to another good discussion. Again, the recording for this, I'll be posting it tomorrow, so it should be available. Again, you can email me. I'll also go ahead and share that with Ashley, or you can reach out to your Montessori school, whichever one is easiest for you. And thank you so much, Ashley, for sharing your time with us and your wisdom and your experience. I think a lot of parents are going to walk away with some helpful tips and just some terminology that they can weave into their parenting. So that's great.
Thank you so much for having me. And yes, I hope you found that really helpful at home, just those practical tips to implement and start small and be consistent. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed.
Absolutely. Thank you all so much, and hopefully I'll see you back next week for another discussion. And Ashley, take care, and I will be sharing this recording with you as well. All right. Have a great evening and a great rest of your day, Ashley. Take care, everyone.